Good evening, everyone. Welcome to PWOnlyIAS English channel. Please confirm whether the audio and video is clear. Good evening, Pragati Pooja. Good evening, Anjali. Good evening, Anshika. Niyati Sharma. Vanakkam, Siddharth. Nice to see you too, Ekta. Good evening, Jai Hind. Varalakshmi. Sakshi Badeka. Good evening. Good evening, Abhishiva. Good evening, Kamal. I'm fantastic, Siddharth. How are you? How are you, Pinky? Good evening, Chaitra. Good evening, Manisha. All right, all right. All right, people. Good evening to one and all. Once again, uh, we are going to head with our current affair topics. But before that, again, let me tell you any queries with regard to your mentoring, please reserve it for the last. All right. So without any further delay, let me take you right into the topics here. This is my official Telegram channel. Any doubts or queries you have, you can reach out to me over here. My Telegram channel is also there. So you can reach out there also if you want. All right. Please look for the meta verified blue tick mark. Again, one small announcement. November, the new batch of public administration will be starting. Currently, an ongoing batch is there. So those of you are looking for public administration, you may consider my classes also. It will be in the English batch. 80% will be obviously in English and 20% in Hindi. PPT, material, content, everything will be in English language. Some very difficult sentences in English, which is difficult to understand, that will be explained in Hindi. Another news is basically the Independence Day offer what we had. It has got over. But that doesn't mean we have increased the price by an astronomical amount or anything. If you're still aiming for 2026, you have a plan of giving an attempt in 2026, you may consider the Titan batch, which will be completely in English at the price of 10,999. Mind you, this will not cover your optional. This includes GS foundational course, all GS and CSAT. But in the event you are in college or maybe even you are a working professional, you are totally new to civil service, you don't want back-to-back class, you have the luxury of time with you, then my suggestion would be to go for Pinnacle batch, because it will be like it will go in a very easy pace. You won't be having back-to-back classes, etc. I mean, you will have a class every day, that is for sure, but it won't be jam-packed. Your college preparation won't get affected, nor will your work life will get affected. You will be able to handle this, and that is available now at a price of 13,499. Any further queries other than this, you can contact this number 080-711-74446. Now let us look at the topics. Last week, purposefully, I had left out a few topics. Why? Because these were very important, and I wanted you to attend to it with complete freshness. Especially this topic here, State of Indian Economy, which came in the Hindu, a very big article in the text and context section. And as usual, Hindu has not disappointed by painting a not so rosy picture of the government or the economy. Now, I will try to dishelve all the arguments put forward in that article with facts again. So without any further delay, let us get right into it. State of Indian economy. The finance ministry recently described that the Indian economy as being in a Goldilocks situation. What do you mean by a Goldilocks situation? All right, Goldilocks situation, when you say, it means moderate growth, low inflation, and favorable monetary conditions coexisting. What and all is there? Moderate growth will be there. Then your inflation will be low and monetary conditions favorable it is. That means even when you talk about the interest rates, monetary conditions, when you say, we are referring to the interest rates in a bank. So automatically a question. If interest rates are high, how many statements are correct? A, only one. B, two statements. C, three statements. D, all statements. All right. Question is, if interest rates are high, it indicates monetary tightening policy, high liquidity in economy, exports are decreasing, dollar is depreciating. How many statements are correct? That means we are not, when I say only 1, 2, 3, etc., it means the count of it. The count of it. That is one statement correct, or two statements are correct, or three statements are correct, or all the four are correct? Ignore. Whoever is spamming, just ignore. We'll come to that, Anshik. I'll come to that. Ankit is telling A. Taran is telling 2. Kennedy is telling 1, 2, and 4. So that means 3. 3 statements are correct. Spurti is telling B. Okay. Sai is telling all the 4. 2 statements are correct. Monisha. The answer is 2 statements are correct. Interest rates are high. When the interest rates are high, will people borrow more or will people borrow less? That's the question first. Just tell that much. If in a bank, a loan is being given to you at a very high interest rate, will you go borrow more or will you stop borrowing? Put it up in the chat section. You will borrow less. That much clarity you are having, right? If the interest rate is high, you will borrow less. Correct? Now, understand one more thing. In an economy, if the interest rate for loan is high, understand the interest rate for FD is also high. What is FD? Fixed deposit. You'll never have a situation where for loan the interest rate is high and FD is low. No. If interest rate increases, interest rate will increase together. For fixed deposit also it will increase. For loans also it will increase. If interest rate decreases, then for everything it will decrease. Got the point here? So if I go to the bank to take a loan to buy a car, but I got to know the interest rate is so high. So I simply ask them, okay, what is the interest rate for your FD then? I got to know that is also high. So what will I do? Even whatever money I have got with me for down payment, that I will park it in FD. Whatever additional money I will have, now I'll put it in FD because interest rates are high. It will give me a better return. Got the point here? So, what money I had also, I put it in the bank. The money with me has reduced. When the money with the public starts reducing because of interest rate, because the interest rate went up, then you call it what? A monetary tightening policy. Why tightness? Because automatically what is happening is you're left with less money. Got the point here? If interest rates are high, it indicates high liquidity in the economy. That is true. When will interest rate generally increase? Let us say government decides to put 10 lakhs in everybody's account. Ten lakhs is put into each and everybody's account. What will happen to the money available with the people? The money available with the people will increase. Everybody is having money. And when everybody has money, what will naturally happen after that? Demand also will increase. And if demand also increases, then what will happen? Price also will increase. And price increase is nothing but inflation. High liquidity means everybody is having money. Everybody is having. There is too much, not everybody, there is too much of cash in the economy. Too much of money. That could be because of any reason. That is suddenly, let us say, government decides to reduce the GST taxes now. Or government decides that people, okay, we will increase the tax base. That is only about 12 lakhs people should pay the tax. So I am left with money now. I can spend it. Getting the point here? So automatically what happens? Automatically prices will increase because everybody is having money. Because in all our accounts, if money is there, let us say instead of 10 lakhs, we are having 3 crore, 4 crore. What will end up happening? We will start spending that money. Demand will start going up. Prices also will increase. So the case where you are having too much of money supply in the economy, that is actually called what? Liquidity. It simply means there is surplus cash in the economy. Too much of cash is circulating. Got the point here? That is the meaning of a high liquidity. If it is there, very high liquidity is there, means what is the only solution now? High prices there, inflation is there. I need to suck this out. Take out the liquidity from it. The only way to do that is what? Increase the interest rate. Because when I increase the interest rate, what happens? There will be an increase in the interest rate for fixed deposit. Whoever is having additional money, what they will do? They'll park it in the bank. Got the point here? So if interest rate is increasing, yes, it does indicate that there is high liquidity. Or it is a monetary tightening policy. What about the other points there? Exports are decreasing. That has got nothing to do with inflation. Exports are decreasing could be because of multiple factors, starting with what? Very low global demand. Global demand for Indian goods are less. Or what is happening right now? America actually increased the tariff by 50%. So automatically demand for Indian goods in USA will come down. So exports will decline. What has that got to do with inflation? Nothing. Next, dollar is depreciating. Dollar depreciation, again, what is its impact on inflation? Nothing. Dollar may be depreciating, but we need to understand, is dollar depreciating with respect to rupee? That is the next question that I did not add it over here. Number one, I only said dollar is depreciating. Where is it depreciating? With respect to which currency is it depreciating? I did not mention. Even if you say it is with respect to rupee also, if dollar is depreciating with respect to rupee, what it only means? rupee value is increasing. That rupee value is appreciating. That and inflation has got nothing to do with each other. So automatically, what is the answer to this? Only these 2 points. Only 2 statements are correct in this. So what is this Goldilocks situation then? Means it is a situation where things are looking a little favorable in the economy. There is a moderate level of growth, and then there is inflation is low. The same time, interest rates are also not high. Getting the point here? GDP growth for financial year 2024 stood at 7.6%. Interest rates were at their peak. Corporate earnings were stable, and India ended financial year 2024 as a 3.6 trillion economy with an underlying growth rate above 7.6%, suggesting a positive outlook for 2025. Despite this optimism, economic analysts highlight underlying structural imbalances that challenge the idea of a perfect equilibrium. Let us go through a few definitions here. GDP. What is GDP? GDP is the total value of all the goods and services produced in an economy in a year. Most of the times we calculate in a year. So the Goldilocks claim, if you see, what are the positive sides? Positive sides, if you see, a strong GDP growth is there, which is good news. You also have low headline consumer price index. That means inflation is also less. Okay. But then what are the underlying problems there? One is food inflation is high. Number 2, there is income inequality. Number 3, stagnant real wages. High public debt. These are the underlying fragilities being highlighted in the article. Underlying fragilities. That means these are problems that they are highlighting as far as Indian economy is concerned. We are going to see whether these problems are genuine or not and to what extent. The consumer price index fell from 4.8% in May 2024 to 2.82% in May 25 within the Reserve Bank of India's comfort zone. What is this comfort zone? Comfort zone simply means, so inflation, when we talk about, what is the range of it? What is the comfortable range? It is 4 plus or minus 2%. That means minimum value should be minimum value should be 2%, maximum value 6%. If inflation is within this range, it is good. This shows that economy is pretty healthy. There is a reasonable demand there. All right, there is a reasonable demand in the economy. We'll come to that. Anything above 6% means what? You remember in the last class I told you, when recession took place, 1 kilo rice price in Zimbabwe was 10 lakh Zimbabwean dollars. So anything more than this, it will actually lead to what? It will actually lead to overheating. Of economy. Because prices will increase like anything. Common people will not be able to afford it. Our manufacturing costs, etc., will shoot up like anything, where people will literally stop buying Indian goods. Got the point? Next. What if it goes below 2%, then it clearly shows what? Poor domestic demand. There is no demand in the economy for the goods. There is no demand. Goods are not being bought. No demand is there. So no demand means what? Automatically, prices will come crashing down. Economy will get shut down. This is a case of disinflation. Sorry, not disinflation. Deflation. That means no demand. This here, on the other hand, is a case of high inflation. Means too high a demand. An economy has to be maintained within this. Goldilocks, again, it is that, I don't know how many of you have read that story. There is a story which we would have, which you should have read actually in your small age. So there is this girl who will enter a bear home. So there is a papa bear, there is a mama bear, and there is a baby bear. So she will sleep in each bed to see which bed will suit her the most. So she will sleep in the papa bed, try out the papa bear's bed first, but that won't work. Then she will go into the second bed. That also doesn't work. Then she goes and sleeps, tries out the third bed, which is the baby bear's bed. That she feels very comfortable. And automatically what happens is, she ends up sleeping there. So Goldilocks zone, when you say in any parlance, that is even when you use it in space technology or when you use it in science or any other field, even in economy, it simply means a comfort zone. So Indian economy is right now in a comfort zone where inflation is low, moderate growth is there, interest rates are not high. So what is the advantage when you have low interest rate is people will borrow. People will ideally borrow. That is especially business people, businessmen, companies, corporates, etc. When the interest rates are low, that is when they will borrow. Nobody will run a business by taking money from their home. They'll take money from the bank, they'll put it into their business, get return from it, pay the interest. There are other ways also. I'm just giving you a crude example. So Goldilocks zone, when you say, it simply means you're in a comfort zone now. That is the purpose here. Got it? The consumer food price index remains significantly higher than general inflation for much of 2024. Example, in October 24, CPI was 6.21%, but CFPI was 10.87. In August 24, CPI was 3.65 and CFPI was 5.66. Food makes up nearly 50% of the consumption basket for the average Indian household, especially lower income groups, making high food inflation particularly damaging to purchasing power. Now, this is the beauty of the Hindu paper. I'm not disputing their data here, but I have a very big problem with this particular point. Why, I will tell you. Again, 2 weeks ago, 2 or rather 3 weeks ago, I had taken again another class on this inflation topic, where they had clearly told that the CPI, that is the consumer price index, which is used to measure inflation, you cannot trust it. Why? At that time, the logic was Indians just spend 30% of their money for what? For food. Whereas majority of the services, if you see, 70%, like hotels, then basic necessities, or even when you talk about other service industry, education, cab, etc., this has ended up becoming costly. Your CPI, consumer price index, gives more than 50% weightage for what? Food. So CPI is not indicating the right value of inflation. That is what last time they said. Why? Because CPI is not showing whether hotels or the basic services, etc., whether the price has increased or not. Because CPI, maximum importance is given for what? 50%. Why are we not switching to PPI? Because this is the most accurate indicator. This clearly shows at the ground level what is the inflation burden that falls on an average consumer. Getting the point here? So food makes up nearly 50%. So here they are telling this is food makes up nearly 50%. So this is not, we cannot say that inflation is low. It is not such a great thing. That is what they are trying to tell. Totally false. Totally false. Because idea here is if you are going by CPI, pure CPI data, it is true that the reality is what? Food inflation is not high. In fact, it is low. This is from October 2024 they are telling. That is, they are quoting last year's data and they are telling, no. Economy has not entered a Goldilocks zone. Recent data, what does it say? Recent data actually says that inflation has come down. So that is the reality. Getting the point here? Now let us understand what you mean by core inflation. Core inflation, when you say, it is the inflation rate excluding volatile items like food and fuel, considered a better measure of long-term price trends. Core inflation means what? I purposefully remove those items which are volatile in nature. Volatile means what? Constantly changing. Like food and fuel. I remove these two. Let us not get into that because obviously I will end up explaining too much of economics than necessary. Let us stick only to the terms what is there in the article. Unfortunately, this is not an economics class. Persistent high food prices force households to cut dietary quality, borrow or reduce other essential spending, even if headline inflation later falls. Not at all true. So inflation part, we disputed it. It is not true. Inflation has actually reduced. Food inflation has come down. Economy has, yes, one factor what they are telling, low, moderate inflation. That is true. Second, nominal salary growth and real wage growth. What is this nominal? What is this real? These terms you will keep seeing in your economics. Okay. So nominal. Nominal, when you say, it is almost like current. Now. Real, when you say, it is the actual. It is the actual price. So let us say somebody's salary is 30,000 rupees today. 30,000 rupees. Starting salary. 10 years ago. Or rather 20 years ago. 2000, let's keep 20 years. 2005, the starting salary was 25,000. Okay. 2005, starting salary was 25,000. Now 2025, the salary is 30,000. All right. In 25 years, 5,000 rupees has increased. Oh, sorry, 20 years, 5,000 rupees has increased. Or has it increased? Money wise, if you see 5,000 has increased, that is true. But let us talk about one important factor here, which is inflation. Are the prices having the same value what it used to be in 2005? That is the question here. Are the prices having the same value? Let us say inflation has actually pushed the prices by 10%. 10% is the inflation. 10% it is. That means if I am comparing to 25 this year, 2005, inflation has increased by 10%. So let me, all these are crude examples. 25,000, if I add 10% to this, 10% to 25,000. What is the value? 2,500. Add this. You get 27,500. What is the increase that they have said? 5,000 we have increased in 20 years. But what is the actual increase? The actual increase is only 2,500. Got the point here? That is the actual increase it is. Getting the point? So, this increase clearly tells us what? Even when you say your salary has increased, you're actually talking about real wages. What is the real increase in your salary? That is just 2,500. It is not 5,000. Got the point here, people? Reserve your guys. You know, Q-tip, you are such a useless piece of dash and dash and dash. I have to say this to you. You know, a useless wastage of space and time and all of that. Clear? So that is the point here. Nominal salaries rose 9.2%, but real wages rose only by 2.5%. PPI not now, Shiv, not now. Real wages fell 0.4% despite nominal growth of 4.4%. Simple. That is, even those current salaries, if you see, increased by 9.2, the real wages actually increased only by 2.5. And in 2020, real wages fell 0.4%. What is the projection for 2025? Nominal salary growth 8.8%. Real wage growth is only 4.4%, meaning 50% of nominal gains eroded by inflation. This actually reduces your savings. Because even when people say the salary has increased, or when corporates like Wipro, Infosys, etc., when they say salary has increased, thanks to inflation, what happens is your effective salary is very, very low. What you get in hand is finally very, very less. What is getting wiped out there? Price rise. Everything has increased. You also know it. What is the price of a simple cup of coffee today? At least 20 rupees. You need not actually go to any very fancy restaurant and all. Normal roadside cup of coffee also, even if they are selling it for 10 rupees, glass size is very small. This is the reality. Moving on. Income inequality remains significant despite some improvement in official measures. The Gini coefficient for taxable income was 0.489 in assessment year 13, 0.435 in assessment year 16, and is forecast at 0.402 for assessment year 23. Declining Gini in taxable income doesn't capture the informal sector or wealth distribution. Real wages for many remain stagnant even as the number of billionaires rises. Again, manipulation of data. Gini coefficient tells us what? Gini coefficient is actually telling us that the inequality is reducing now, which is again a good news. But Hindu doesn't want to agree with it. Hindu simply wants to say, no, it is only billionaires have increased. That is true. Billionaires are increasing. But inequality is also, to an extent, it is coming down. Clear? And I have already told you, Mr. Cricket Star, until and unless my class is over, I'm not going to give answers to such questions. Whatever it is, whatever other queries which are non-current affairs related, I will only answer it at the end of the class. Class is the priority. I hope all of you are able to read weekly current affairs, it is called. All right. See, let me tell you one thing, people. Let me just tell you, to Q-tip and all those people who are doing this spamming over here. All right. You know, all these are energy ultimately. You're harming people. You're not allowing the genuine candidates to attend the class. You're disturbing people. What goes around comes around. You're not preparing for any government exam, great. But trust me, you disturb somebody from listening or getting knowledge, trust me, it will come back to you. It will come back to you at the worst point. Your karma will definitely is what will come to you as luck. Understand that very, very clearly. You don't have to be my fan and all. Just be a normal human being, a sensible human being. That there are people who are listening to the class. I shouldn't disturb them. Minimum that common sense you should have. How much inflation is good or bad for a country? There is no clear value for it. It depends from economy to economy. In India's case, the value is anywhere between 4 plus or minus 2%. Higher value is 6, lower value is 2. Next point is India's recovery is K-shaped. What do you mean by K-shaped recovery? This K-shaped recovery is something which came during COVID time. COVID, we know our Indian economy took a very big crash. And slowly later it started picking up. But how did it pick up? Some sectors started doing really well, whereas some sectors started doing very bad. This is how it was going. Some sectors did very good, some sectors did very bad, because if you look at it at that point of time, what was actually doing good? Corporate sector, etc. were largely unaffected. Why were they unaffected? Unaffected because they went into work from home. Now that went pretty fine. Whereas service sector took a very bad hit. No restaurants, no hotels, no theaters, no malls. Got the point? That took a hit. In today's scenario also, when you talk about the US tariff, we know one thing, that as of now, IT services won't be affected much. Instead, what will be affected because of US tariff? The leather jackets, the chemical industry, all these will get affected. Got the point here? Persistent inequality can harm social cohesion, restrict access to health and education, and undermine inclusive growth. Inequality is a reality in every economy. Understand that first. India is not the only economy where inequality is existing. Inequality is there everywhere. Yes, we need to bring down the degree. That is true. Fiscal deficit is projected to decline from 6.4% of GDP to 4.4% in 25-26. Revenue deficit from 4 to 1.5% in the same period. What is fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit, I have told you earlier. Fiscal deficit simply means the expenditure of the government is much more, I'll just put it as is more than the receipts. Some fiscal deficit is always good. Some fiscal deficit is always good. Some fiscal deficit. Not too high, nor too low. Provided whatever money. Some fiscal deficit means your expenditure is more. That is what it means. And where is your expenditure should go? It should go for capital expenditure. What do you mean by capital expenditure? You're investing on roads, you're investing on ports, you're investing on highways, all of that. What is the worst thing that you should avoid? Revenue expenditure. As far as the central government is concerned, I'll give you an acronym, DIPS. Where D stands for defense. I stands for interest payments. P stands for PABAD, public administration. That simply means salary, pension, then other expenditures of every governmental office, whatever expenses are there, that will come over here. And then you have subsidies. Into the same list, you can even subsidies. Okay, this much. This is the list. It is not Z-shaped or not K-shaped. It is better if you have growth with moderate inflation. Proper growth in every sector. Primary, secondary, tertiary sector, everywhere growth is there with moderate inflation. So, defense. Can I cut short the number of bullets or bombs that I have to buy? Cannot do it because we have two Kujli neighbors today. One Kujli is Pakistan, old Kujli. New Kujli is Bangladesh. So, this I cannot touch. Interest payments. Whatever loans I have taken, I need to pay it back. So for that, I have a monthly interest payment which I have to make. I cannot do, I will pay next month, please adjust. That I cannot do. Interest payments, it is a commitment. So this also I cannot reduce. Next thing is subsidies. Cannot touch it, because if you touch it, you can forget the next election. Getting the point here? What is the only thing that I can play Khilwad with? Public administration. Got the point here? Public administration. That means you will be having Gini coefficient terms. You will be having salary is their pension, everything has to be paid. But what about the expenditures? We literally have a government body for each and everything. Trust me, we have a body for everything here. But what is the main issue? No financial independence. How many government departments or bodies are there that has complete freedom to spend money however they want? Very limited. Most of them are actually, what is it? Dependent on what? Government funding. They are dependent on the government for funding. If the government gives the fund only, they'll be able to do their job. See, whatever half or full, that is a different story. We'll get into the statistics part later. The point here is you cannot touch it. You cannot touch these three things. So what is the only thing that you can touch then? The administration part. I can play with that. Now I will tell you, everybody knows Kerala, the state of Kerala to have what? Very high literacy rate, very good in governance. State of Kerala, just Google and find out how many days did they delay the payment of salaries to government employees because of lack of funds. I repeat, Google and find out how many days did the state of Kerala delay the payment of salary to government employees. The very purpose where most of you are preparing for a government job is what? Exactly at the end of the month or on the first of the month, you get your salary on time. There is a predictability to it. Yes, I will get my salary. Not necessary. So if your revenue expenditure is very, very, very high, what will happen? You will have to divert funds from capital expenditure. The money that you kept for your infrastructure, you'll have to divert it here. And when you divert money kept for capital expenditure to revenue expenditure, what happens? Growth suffers. Getting the point here. This is how it goes. Moving on. Fiscal deficit definition, primary deficit definition. You can read them. Primary deficit is fiscal deficit minus the interest payment. So interest payment you don't calculate generally because that is a commitment. I want to know what is the primary deficit due to the other factors. Leave the interest payment aside. What is the primary deficit due to other factors? Hypothetical scenario. Expenditure of government increases because of high salary. Okay. So if expenditure of government increases, what will happen to the fiscal deficit? Fiscal deficit will increase. All right. Now, if salary is very, very high, if the salary starts going high, government employees will be having more money in their hands, correct? So, there is an increase in liquidity. And when liquidity increases, what will happen to inflation? Inflation increases. And when you increase the inflation, when inflation increases, RBI will interfere. Why? RBI will increase the interest rate. And when interest rate goes up, What will that lead to? It leads to an effect called crowding out effect. What is this crowding out effect? Crowding out effect simply means if the interest rate is too high, private players will not invest in the economy. They won't invest. Interest rate is high, inflation is high. People will not spend money on luxury when prices are very high. They will only spend money on essentials. Got the picture here? They'll only spend money on essentials when inflation is very high. So I know that, okay, market, nothing is there. On top of it, if I want to take a loan also, interest rate is high. So private players backs out. And because of that, what happens? Your growth declines. If I continue on that same track, inflation is more. Cost of production increases. Cost of production increases means automatically exports will decline. Exports declines means that will lead to an increase in CAD, current account deficit. Got the point here? Just because FD increases. Clear? Your parents should be very proud of you, na Soham? That you are a pain in the dash for everyone. India's general government debt to GDP ratio is 81%. Debt to GDP ratio. What is debt to GDP ratio? Total debt. That means money borrowed. Borrowed money divided by your total GDP, total value of all goods and services. All right, total value of all goods and services. This ratio stands at 81%. The next question. High FD may lead to a high debt to GDP ratio. An increase in debt will reduce debt to GDP ratio. An increase in GDP will increase debt to GDP. Which statements are true here? 1, 2, 3. How many are true here? True. First one, second one, third one. It can promote, Nitin. It can lead to it. 1 only. Only 2. 2, 1. Cyan, please stay away from the comment section. I've read your comment. Now, please move out. All right. High FD may lead to, may. That means it's a possibility. High debt to GDP ratio, it is possible. If you are borrowing more and more, then it can lead to high debt to GDP. It is very true. As far as the second and third statement is concerned, you will only have to remember one thing. If numerator goes on increasing, numerator and denominator is there for any ratio. If numerator goes on increasing, what will happen? Ratio will increase. If denominator goes on increasing, what will happen? Any ratio will decrease. So just put that now. In the numerator, debt is increasing. That means the final ratio value should be increasing. Here I have wrote reduce. This is wrong. Second, next statement. GDP goes on increasing. GDP is at the denominator. So if it increases means ratio should go down. But I have wrote increase. That means this is also wrong. Always remember this. You will easily get questions like this in your UPSC prelims. All you have to remember is in numerator goes on increasing, overall ratio will increase. Denominator goes on increasing, overall ratio will decrease. Remember that. Then the definitions, etc. So they are basically telling the FRBM Act's target of 60%. Their target is 60%. That is from 81 to bring it to 60. Meaning, more future revenue will be used for debt servicing instead of public welfare of infrastructure. Again, they are blaming the government here. Blaming the government for what? Blaming the government for bringing down the debt to GDP ratio. Let us look at the data here. Is the Indian economy really doing bad? You actually notice, initially from 2014 onwards, if you see, initially, yes, the debt was increasing. Debt to GDP ratio from 61, 67 initially, 69 then, 68, 69, 70, 75, 88.4, a rapid decrease during 2020 because of COVID. But if you look at the performance after that, things are looking really good. Why? Debt to GDP ratio dropped from 88 to 83, then 83 to 82, then 82 to 81. Got the point here? So automatically, what does it mean? We are bringing our debt to GDP ratio down, which is really good. Which again, conveniently, the Hindu has ignored. All right. Again, they are telling that there is nothing great about the Indian economy, which is not true. The Indian economy is really doing good. Moving on to our next article, satellite internet. So satellite internet, what it is. Now, if any one of us actually step outside our home, you will be able to see one or other tower. Correct? Cell phone tower, one or the other place. You will be able to see. If you walk a little, maybe 500 meters, within 500 meters, somewhere you will be able to see one cell tower. But sometimes it is not easy to actually go and put the cell tower everywhere. Because if you go by the data also, internet connectivity in our country is still somewhere between 50 to 60%. That is the internet penetration. With maximum internet services happening where? The maximum internet services are there in, penetration is in southern states. The state of Kerala, the state of Tamil Nadu, the state of Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana. In these 5 states, the internet penetration is pretty high. In fact, Kerala has very recently again, state of Kerala has very recently again declared itself as the 100% digitally literate state. Getting the point here? 100% digitally literate state. That means even the old people there in the state of Kerala knows how to use a mobile phone, how to use a smartphone, how to start their internet, Facebook account, Instagram account, how to access government services using which website to go, how to go. They have awareness of it. That is not the case in northern India, eastern India, or western India. There are many places where to put a tower also it is not easy. Especially in the Naxal affected regions, it is not at all easy to go and put up a cell tower. You put a cell tower today, tomorrow they will come and put a bomb and destroy it. This is where satellite internet comes into picture. Satellite internet first point is no towers. No towers. Then why is it? Then how does it do? Basically what it does is, so that is your smartphone. You want to access the internet service. From this smartphone, communication is made to a satellite which is in the low Earth orbit. That satellite will communicate with another satellite. Then another satellite, like that. Another satellite is there this side also. That is how internet is actually brought in to the phone. One ground station will be there to do basic level connectivity, but you don't require a tower and all. No need of towers. Satellite to satellite communication, you will easily get what? Internet in your phone. The only catch is, as of now, Starlink services owned by Elon Musk is providing this. Per month, the cost is 3,000 rupees per month. Unlimited data. Definitely it is costly, but the advantage is you can actually put it up where? You can actually put it up in all those remote areas. You don't have to go and put a tower there. Satellites are more than sufficient. Disadvantage is obviously the cost. And easily it can be misused. So proper regulations should be there. This is how it will work. Satellite to satellite communication. The user terminal means your phone or your laptop. And then there will be a ground station. Satellite internet is a system where data is transmitted between Earth and space-based satellites to provide internet access. It has two segments, a space segment where the satellites are placed in orbit, and then a ground segment that you have Earth-based equipments, which is basically antennas, terminals, and control stations. Unlike cables and cell towers, where you have to connect these cell towers with the cables, nothing of that sort. It works globally and isn't tied to fixed ground infrastructure. No need of this ground infrastructure at all. No need of any towers. Just satellite communication. Ground-based networks, cable towers are uneconomical where in sparsely populated areas, too costly for few users. That is the reason why you will see in most cities, on top of the buildings, towers will be there because there is no space in the ground. Vulnerable to disasters. Earthquakes, floods can knock them out. Very true. One earthquake, one flood is enough to bring it down. Limited in mobility. Can't easily serve moving platforms. It is true. Moving platforms means planes, ships, remote expeditions, etc. When you're constantly on the move or something, You would have experienced it when you go under the tunnel, etc. Transmission breaks away. Satellite internet advantages are they can work anywhere on the earth, mountains, oceans, deserts. They can be deployed quickly during emergencies. Useful for mobile or remote operations like aircraft, oil rigs, or even in military bases. Example is Starlink, operated by SpaceX Elon Musk, uses LEO mega constellations. LEO is low Earth orbit. Mega constellations means you have n number of satellites here. Getting the point? N number of satellites. Okay, Anshika, the space debris, what is it? Whatever the US has said, or the Kessler syndrome that you talk about, that is only a science fiction. This theory was actually put up so that no other country in the world should go to space and invest in space programs. This theory was only put up so that US alone will have complete domination there, which is again nothing but a figment of their imagination. It is not at all true. Because in reality, the thing is like if you take up Earth, this is how the debris looks like. For 1 minute. This is how it is. It's all spread out. It's not like how they say, if satellites are there, then it will cause problem. No, it is not at all true. Thousands of small satellites at just about 500 kilometers above Earth. Over 7,000 satellites have already been launched. Look at that number there, 7,000. Aiming for up to 42,000 satellites so that you will get complete global coverage. How it works. User terminal or antenna on the ground, sensor request. Signal goes up to the satellite. This is how it will look finally. And all these small bulbs, whatever you're seeing, they are all small satellites. 70,000 satellites, sorry, 7,000 satellites when you say, it simply means what? So many satellites are placed there. Got the point here? Satellite either sends it back down to the earth or relays it to another satellite through optical inter-satellite links. Signal reaches the target network. As you can clearly see, there are no cables used, no towers used, nothing. Satellite to satellite communication is done using laser. What are the types of satellite orbits? Geostationary Earth orbits, which are placed at a distance of 35,786 kilometers above the equator. All right. So I have told you earlier, there are some chapris. There are some even in our chat section also. Can't help it. Chapris are there. When a girl, the moment they see a girl, they need not see a girl also. Even if they see a stick where a cloth has been tied to it, they will go behind it. So if a girl is driving a scooter, chapri also will follow her. Girl stops the scooter, chapri also stops. Girl increases the speed, chapri also increases the speed. All right. Your geostationary Earth orbit is something like that. All right. It is something like that. In other words, if there is a satellite at 36,000 kilometers, I am rounding it off, at 36,000 kilometers away from India, it is directly facing India. So as India keeps rotating, correct, India keeps turning, the satellite is also turning along with it. That means the satellite is revolving around the earth at the same rotational speed. At the same rotational speed, it is moving. Same rotational. So it's constant. It almost looks as if both are in love. La 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 la. That thing. Got the point here? Always stays over the same spot on Earth. Covers 1/3 of the globe each. But what is the problem here? The problem with geostationary satellite is you have high latency, around 600 millisecond. Means if you're using a geostationary satellite for getting internet connectivity, the waiting period, loading, is a little higher. It is not suitable for video calls or gaming. The speed with which it is revolving, Ishika. Revolving around the earth and the rotational speed of the earth, both are the same. Both should match. Viasat Global Express. Then you have, that is an example. Then you have medium Earth orbit, 2000 to 36,000 kilometer altitude, anywhere between this range. Again, it is the same. Lower latency it has than GEO. But again, you need multiple satellites for coverage. So what is the advantage when I keep a satellite very, very far? Larger area I will get, but speed will be less. I'll be able to cover a whole of the country at the same time. Now, medium Earth orbit, somewhere in between. It won't cover the whole country, but yeah, it will cover here and there. But again, I will be requiring a constellation. Constellation means what? More than one satellite. I will be requiring it. Now comes low Earth orbit. Low Earth orbit is basically like the hard worker. Alright, low Earth orbit. How satellite? No, I have to revolve around India only, sir. Sorry, but I have curiosity. Anshika, it is not that the satellite knows it. It all depends upon where I am placing it. And there is something called as gravitational pull. Earth has gravitation. So Earth will try to pull the satellite towards it. Alright, Earth is, so if Earth was not moving, okay, if Earth was standing still, and the satellite is there, Earth is exerting the pull. What will happen? The satellite will pull, then satellite will fall. But here what is happening is Earth is moving. So, with the turn, what happens is the force is also curving. So, I am turning, along with that the satellite also turns with me. If I have placed it at 36,000 kilometer distance. But instead I am placing it somewhere very close to the Earth, just within 1000 kilometer range. Within 1000 kilometer range I am doing, what happens? The satellite starts rotating real fast. 4 or 5 times it will keep covering the same area. 4 or 5 times, within 1 or 2 hours it will keep covering 4 or 5 times. Why? Closer. Little more closer if I pull, satellite will enter the Earth. It will crash. So the closer the distance, faster the speed. But what about the coverage? Very low. Farther the distance, best coverage. But what about the speed of the internet? Very low. So what do I do? In the low Earth orbit, I place as many satellites as possible. Say 7,000 satellites I place. Small satellites only I need to place. They will all be communicating with each other. Based on that, I'll be getting my internet signal. Mega constellations and innovations. Hundreds or thousands of small satellites network together. Onboard processing. Satellites process data before sending it onward. That is, the processing of the data also happens where? At the satellites itself. Optical inter-satellite links. Satellites talk directly to each other, creating a space-based internet backbone. Just a diagrammatic representation, just for your understanding. Types of satellite orbits for internet connectivity. As LEO satellites move 27,000 km per hour, connection is smoothly transferred from one to the next. Getting the point? Easily connection is transferred. So the satellites are going on moving. It is not staying in one place. They'll keep moving around. But what happens? They'll immediately pass on to the connection. Hey, somebody has asked something. You handle it. Like that it is. So whichever satellite is very near to the smartphone, they will take up the signal. They will just pass it on. It's pure and pure satellite to satellite communication. That is the core of it. Satellites will communicate with each other and then process the data and give you the speed. Black holes is like miles and miles away. Light years away. Civilian uses, rural and remote connectivity, disaster relief coordination, smart cities and internet of everything or internet of things, IoT, precision agriculture, telemedicine, autonomous transportation. Military uses communication in remote battlefield, drone control and surveillance, disaster aid during war, secure troop coordination. Borderless access enable misuse. Signals harder to control nationally. That is, this has happened when we caught a few smugglers across the a little away from Andaman and Nicobar Islands. They were caught with the Starlink devices. Starlink does not provide services to India currently, even though their satellites are there above India. Starlink does provide services, but Indian government has actually asked Starlink not to do it. So they does not provide. That is what Musk has told. So Indian security agencies were very shocked when they found Starlink devices with the smugglers. Hurricane Harvey, 70% cell towers were down in Texas. Viasat satellites kept rescue ops online. Starlink used for troop coordination and drone ops, medical evacuation. Indian Army uses satellite internet in extreme conditions. Smuggled Starlink devices found with insurgents or drug rackets. Then the costs. This is the future. Direct to smartphone satellite. Why it matters to India? General points. You can go through it. Biochar. Using lasers, they communicate. Alright. Army uses satellite phones also. Satellite phones are used everywhere for communication purposes. But satellite internet services, limited it is. We tend to use our Desi navigation system, like our GPS and all. Desi GPS that we are using. Navik. Navigation using Indian constellation. That is different. This is about using internet services using satellite. Coming to biochar. Let us understand what biochar is. It is a porous, carbon-rich solid produced by heating biomass in low oxygen conditions. It's a process called pyrolysis, agricultural residue, organic waste. India generates 600 million tons of agricultural residue and 60 to 62 million tons of municipal solid wastes. Diverting 30 to 50% of surplus waste could yield 50 to 26 million tons of biochar annually, removing around 0.1 gigaton of carbon dioxide equivalent every year. Getting the point here. That is, slowly you can do what? Through slow heating, pyrolysis, in very limited oxygen, you can actually convert agricultural waste into what? Biochar, thereby removing carbon dioxide. The byproducts that you get from it, like syngas, can be used to generate electricity. Bio oil, basically you can use it for diesel or kerosene production. And again, biochar, if you are not using it for anything also, it still has the advantage of what? Biochar's carbon remains stable in soil for 100 to 1000 years. You simply convert any hydrocarbon material to biochar. That is the best way to store the carbon. Agricultural use of biochar can reduce nitrous oxide emissions. So, first use is what? Agricultural use. Reduce nitrous oxide emissions by 30 to 50%. Boost yields by 10 to 25% while reducing fertilizer need by 10 to 20%. Then, construction sector, you can use it. 2 to 5% biochar to concrete improves strength, increases heat resistance by 20%. This could be your solution for what? Urban heat islands. I told you, urban heat islands, those who are staying in cities will especially experience this. That is, during summer seasons especially, the building will absorb the heat. Daytime. Nighttime, there is nothing to heat them up again. Now they start letting go of the heat. Now what happens? You start feeling hot inside the room. Even when you step outside also, you still feel hot. Why? The buildings are radiating heat outside also. So inside, outside, you start feeling the heat. What happens? You feel very uncomfortable. So one solution is what? Use biochar in the construction. 1 kilogram of biochar can treat 200-500 liters, implying 2.5 to 6.3 million tons annual demand for treatment purpose. That means you can even use it for wastewater treatment, construction sector, agriculture sector, carbon sink. 4 uses. Electricity generation through syngas, bio oil. All these are its advantages. Now some central government schemes for the same thing. Crop residue management under submission on agricultural mechanization. Then Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. National Bioenergy Program 2021 to 26, 858 crore funds biomass based energy. SAT Sustainable Alternative Towards Affordable Transportation targets 5,000 CBG plants, that is compressed biogas plants producing 15 MMT per year compressed biogas. Then Gobardhan coordinates biogas or CBG projects across ministries. Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0 ensures 100% scientific waste processing. That is, even from this you can get biochar from human waste. State action plans on climate change can include region-specific biochar adoption. Very quickly, malnourishment-related data. 2018, when Poshan Abhiyan was launched, government set a target to reduce stunting among children by at least 2 percentage points each year. What is stunting? Stunting means a child is too short for their age due to chronic or recurrent malnutrition. Constantly when children is having vomiting or loose motion, especially that 0 to 5 years of age, what happens is they will not grow to their full height. At 0 to 10 years of age, it is very important that the child gets all the essential nutrients and the body is able to retain it. When that doesn't happen, you will have stunting. So through Poshan Abhiyan, the target for the government of India was, when it was launched in 2018, that every year they will reduce stunting by 2% per year. 7 years have gone. Let us see what is the current level. Biochar is promoted as a carbon, but decomposition and microbial interactions can release carbon dioxide or methane. How reliable is biochar as a permanent carbon sink compared to natural carbon pools? See, natural carbon pools, when you're talking about at least the old coal bed, methane plants, etc., or even the marshes, these areas. Biochar is far more safer than that. Biochar is far more safer because you must understand here, it is at how are you getting biochar? Through slow pyrolysis. Microbial action and all or degradation is very limited there, because if you look at the uses, whatever we put up, we never said that you can use it actually as what? A biocompost or fertilizer. We basically said that you can reduce your fertilizer demand, can reduce nitrous oxide emissions. You put it in the soil, from the soil nitrogen will not escape. Got the point here? So you don't have to add more nitrogen then, because on biochar level is there, layer is there on top of it, automatically it will stop. Now coming to subsidies, malnourishment. In 2016, 38.4% of children under 5 were stunted in India. According to the plan, this should have fallen to, this should have fallen to 26.4% by 2022. At launch, the government set an even more ambitious goal, Mission 25 by 2022, to reduce stunting to 25% by 22. 7 years after launch, Poshan tracker data shows that 37% of children under 5 are stunted, only 1 percentage point lower than 2016. That is what has reduced now. Just how much? 1%. From compared to 2016 data, 38 became 37. That's it. Research shows what is the reason. One is teenage pregnancies. Child marriage is still the reality in our country. Poor diet of mother and child. World Health Organization has said that at the 9th, that is the trimester, the 3rd trimester, that is after 6 months, generally the mother's body weight should increase. But the reality in India is most of the expecting mothers are underweight, anywhere between 15 to 20 kilo underweight they are. So when the mother is having underweight or mother is having less weight, automatically what will happen? Child born also will have less weight. Most of the time, that child will not survive beyond the 5th birthday. Got the point? Anemia during pregnancy. What is anemia during pregnancy? You don't have enough of red blood cells in your body. So lesser RBC. Less RBC means less oxygen, low on digestion, and automatically low weight. Inadequate breastfeeding in early years. Obviously, when the mother is underweight, the chances that she'll be able to generate breast milk, that is also less. Cesarean delivery, C-sections. See, it is not that C-section per se is bad, but extensively depending on C-sections, because there are females again who says, no, I don't want to and have any pain. The point is that natural birth, why you need to have is, it is a triggering mechanism. See, everything is hormones. So once the body senses that, yes, the baby is out, that is when lactation starts. That is important. That lactation, that trigger mechanism should be there. But in a cesarean delivery, the chances of the trigger mechanism to occur is very, very low. Unsanitary living conditions. Obviously, living in slum areas, unsafe drinking water, and poor maternal education. Mother has got no clue about healthy diet or a protein-rich diet, nothing. Maternal health connection. Nearly half of India's stunted children are already small at birth. That is the main reason. They are already very small. Teenage pregnancies. Teen mothers' bodies are not ready for pregnancy and they are less able to care for children. Despite legal restrictions, child marriages persists. Okay, RJ, that is another discussion altogether. Let us not venture even into that direction. As of 2019-21, about 7% of women aged 15 to 19 had begun childbearing in India. Data from 2019 to 21, 46% of children born to mothers with no schooling were stunted. Mothers don't go to school. That is, like I've always kept on telling you, the best way to keep a society dark is don't give women any education. Only 26% of children whose mothers had 12 plus years of schooling were stunted. So 12 plus years schooling, if they have completed, only 26% was stunted. Sir, even after schooling, 26% is stunted. What will you tell for that? Well, let me tell you one thing. Mother-in-laws, spineless husbands. As long as this exists in the society, whatever education a female has, it is of no use. Getting the picture here? Educated mothers are more likely to access antenatal care, practice better nutrition, and delay early pregnancies. In India, C-sections rose from 9% in 2005 to 22% in 2021. While not a direct cause, C-sections disrupt early breastfeeding. Babies often miss colostrum, the nutrient-rich first milk. A nutrient-rich first milk that comes out of the mother's breasts immediately after delivery. Mothers may also be sick or separated, delaying initiation of breastfeeding. That is, sometimes what happens is they themselves will be admitted in the hospital, ICU section, etc. These days, it is not at all easy. Telling you, delivery is become nothing less than a nightmare. A medical miracle it is if everybody is healthy. That is, the mother is fine, the baby is fine. It is nothing less than God's blessings. Because the amount of complications that are there, there is no end to it. Only 64% of babies under 6 months are exclusively breastfed in India. That means 36% they are gone. Class divide. Educated professionals may have 6 months maternity leave, but informal workers often return within 2 weeks, making breastfeeding every 2 hours impossible. Only for the formal sector, this is there. Carbohydrate heavy meals dominate poor households. That is, most of the households, what they do is they keep eating rice. Not only poor households, even rich households do that. Many people don't know that you are actually supposed to eat the ulta. We are supposed to be having high on protein diet, little less on carbohydrate. Why very less on carbohydrate? Indians basically have narrow blood vessels. Our arteries, our veins are already narrow. Means its size is very small. We have more and more of carbohydrates means, or more and more of fats means, the chances of us to accumulate diabetes or cholesterol is very, very high. Blood vessels will get blocked easily. And we can get a heart attack very easily. So we have to actually eat more of protein. The more protein you have, what happens? The thermic effect in the body increase. What do you mean by thermic effect? Certain food items are there, when you, after you finish eating it, you feel that fullness. I don't know vegetarians whether you people have experienced it. Non-vegetarians will experience it for sure. You need to feel filled. You need to eat non-vegetarian food, at least for me. But what happens there when you have a biryani, when you have chicken, or when you have any non-veg meat? Heat starts building up. And when heat starts building up, it is very difficult for your fat to stay in. It starts melting. Clear? Some Adivasi communities eat mounds of rice with dal only once a week or month. That is, they only eat what? Full on rice. Then they will put a little bit of pickle or chili or something. Then they will eat it, thinking that it is good for health. Dal they will have only once in a week or something, or even month. As of 2019-21, only 11% of children under 2 years met the minimum acceptable diet standard, dietary diversity plus frequency. Some states introduced eggs in Anganwadi meals, but micronutrient access remains limited. That is, eggs you must have, but you should also have fiber in your diet, which means what? A lot of vegetables as well as fruits. Got the point here? Anemia, 2019-21 data, 57% of women aged 15 to 49 were anemic. 67% of children under 5 were anemic. Anemia in mothers impacts fetal growth, leading to stunting. 19% of households still practiced open defecation. All these will contribute to what? Malnourishment. Malnutrition, infectious vicious cycle. A malnourished children will keep on falling sick. Because constantly when you're having vomiting and loose motion, you will eat less. Therefore, you will absorb less nutrients, which will lead to further malnutrition. Consequences of stunting go beyond height. There's a strong correlation with poverty. Because you will not be able to constantly, when you keep going to the hospital, your income also will start crashing down. See, Anshika, protein accumulation happened. How many people do you know who have died because of protein accumulation leading to cancer? How many? This is almost like, that person who keeps talking about how to maintain a very, how to have good hair on your head. He's giving this nice advertisement, nice lecture. And when you look at him, he doesn't have a single hair on his head. The person who actually talks about how to eat healthy and have nice vision, that person will be wearing high powered glasses. This logic is just like that. I'm yet to meet somebody who worked out, took proteins, and because of that they had to go to the hospital for diabetes or for cholesterol, etc. Even the friend circle that I have also, I know generally the 6 months pregnant friend, 9 months pregnant friend, some are there with 18 months pregnant belly and all. When I ask them, okay, they will be advising me, proteins, very dangerous, very, very dangerous, you shouldn't have. And I look at them and I'm like, okay, then this is all healthy or what? Got the picture here? This, I would say, rather glorified lie has been spread out so that Indians shouldn't spend money. They want Indians to spend money on hospitals. Anshika, anything can lead to cancer. Anything can lead to cancer. Cancer is simply what? It will trigger abnormal growth of your cells. That can be triggered by anything. It is not necessary that only animal diet food you took and you became what? You got cancer. You need to have that particular gene in your body. That particular defective gene should be there, which allows cancer to take place. That is the reality. So it is all the factors are involved here. Air pollution, the air, the water, the food you eat, whether you are exercising, whether you are alcoholic, whether you are taking cigarette, everything matters. So everything matters here. So don't just ever think that proteins is bad. Proteins is actually good. I will at least recommend people to have their eggs on time. At least at least 4 to 6 eggs, have it in a day. Good for your hair, good for your skin. Whatever proteins they may say, it is there in this vegetable, it is there in that. There is no replacement for animal proteins. Trust me. And if it is there, you can drink almond milk. Protein synthesized from plants. It is just that they will all cost somewhere around 20 to 30,000 rupees. Almond milk and all, if you start buying now, your parents will disown you. For us, our desi cows do this there. We'll have to settle for that. Ruxana, you need not eat 1 kilo apple every day. There are many other options also. You need not actually eat apple only. There are desi orange, desi musambi, many things are there. If you actually see what the informal sector is also doing, you would have seen them buying chips packet for their children. 10 rupees, 20, 10 rupees ke turture. They'll come and buy these chips and go. They are not thinking that you're easily feeding them chemicals. They will buy Pepsi and give. They'll buy cola and give. 1 kilo orange you keep. At least give half an orange per day to your child. What is going to happen? That much wages everybody is earning. It is not that it is that level costly. Increasing breast cancer. See, increasing breast cancer, again, like I told you, increasing cancer itself is increasing. Cancer cases itself are increasing. That depends from history to history, individual to individual. So I know people who have died suddenly. My friend who has passed away, my classmate from Andhra he was. So he passed away. Muni Shiva Prasad. Very tall, 6 foot 4 inch tall. Slim, absolutely slim. LCD flat stomach. Very, very strong. No drinking, no smoking. Passed away. I know, I have friends for whom if they don't take a sip of alcohol, their hands will start shivering. Who smokes like chimney. Shah Rukh Khan will feel ashamed in front of them. They are still alive. He passed away. What logic is that? These things are all unpredictable, people. These things are all unpredictable. You cannot never say that this will lead to cancer, that will not lead to cancer. But this much I know, you want to lead at least a minimum decent healthy life. Wake up early in the morning, 5 a.m. Exercise. Eat healthy as much as possible. Occasionally you have your junk jamaat, no issues. But as much as possible, eat healthy. Eat your proteins. Reduce your carbohydrates. That again, Harsh, there is no evidence for it. That the yellow of the protein contains cholesterol. There is no evidence for it. I asked many doctors, is there any material to substantiate that the yellow contains? So they said no. It is just that it is fat. It is healthy fat, which we are supposed to take. Proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals. No, fats is also there. You are supposed to take healthy fat. That is healthy fat. And it is in that yellow that all the micronutrients are present. Sodium, magnesium, etc., which is necessary for your body's good functioning. Lower education outcomes, lower employability, weaker cognitive skills, perpetuates intergenerational cycles of deprivation. Clear? You won't be going to school, obviously. Then you will not get a job. Your processing capacity also comes down. And it will also lead to what? Intergenerational cycles of deprivation. That means your father was poor, the child becomes poor, the child's child also becomes poor. Clear? Myths. See, let me tell you, all these myths have been purposefully created. Doctors will say, don't eat this, it has this problem. Don't eat soy, it has that problem. Don't eat this. Will you see any doctor ever telling, don't have your food from McDonald's, don't have your food from KFC, don't take Pepsi, Cola, Mirinda, Fanta? Show me one doctor who will say that. He will only say, hey, it is better to avoid, not good to drink it daily. That is all they will say. Drinking Coca-Cola is nothing but drinking Harpic, diluted Harpic with sugar. Take it from me. Drinking Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Mirinda, Fanta. Sir, I drink Sprite. Sprite also included. It is nothing but diluted Harpic or Domex with sugar added into it. That is, in case you are not able to find Harpic in your home, buy the local shops Pepsi or Mirinda, put it into your toilet, clean it nicely, put a flush. It will be very, very clean. One doctor also will not say anything against it. Why? Corporate giants. Got the point here? AGRO. AGRO is a gelatin-based medicine made from donkey hide, means donkey skin. It is believed to improve the immune system and cure anemia. Though these benefits are not scientifically proven. Where it is believed? In China. No surprises. All weird treatment methods, only these people will come with it. Global demand for AGO has led to the slaughter of 6 million donkeys annually, with demand projected to rise to 6.8 million hides by 2027. Hide means skin. China's donkey population collapsed by 87% in 30 years, proving that domestic supply cannot sustain the industry, driving reliance on imports. African countries are the largest suppliers, 51%, which explains why local donkey population, Egypt, fell by 68%, are collapsing. This is a cross-continental crisis. Humanitarian impact is severe. Poor families lose their essential work animals, pushing extra burden onto women and children. Obviously, when donkeys are no more there, then what do? You stop sending your girl children to school and ask them to do all the manual work, carrying things, etc. Prices of donkeys have skyrocketed. Kenya's doubling in 3 years. Pakistan's, it is 2 lakh. Maybe they will even export Shahbaz Sharif also. He is also a nice donkey, right? Showing how scarcity creates economic distortions that make donkeys unaffordable for locals. Personal experience, let me tell you, I love tea. I can never say no to tea or coffee. But both these things are not good. Number one, what it does is it will actually increase your heart rate. Whenever your heart rate keeps climbing up, you actually age faster. You'll start looking older. Number one. Number two, you're having it with sugar. You're easily putting in sugar into your body. Got the point here? So I do certain tricks for that. That is, I probably skip my breakfast. And then I have an entire giant cup of tea filled with milk, sugar, everything. So it compensates in a way. Because I'm reducing on my calorie intake there. That is the point there. Getting the picture? Even though the African Union banned exports in 2024, illegal trade thrives, indicating weak enforcement and continued Chinese demand. The crisis blends animal welfare, zoonotic disease risks, rural poverty, and gender inequality. Zoonotic diseases were spread through animals. Clear? Google also says you have cancer when you ask for headache. Google, if you ask any symptom, they will immediately say you are having cancer or you are going to get a heart attack. Ethanol blending. Ethanol blending is the process of what? Mixing petrol or diesel with ethanol. India jumped from 1.5% blending to 20%. A huge leap achieved in 5 years. Very early we have achieved it. Surveys show strong resistance. 2 out of 3 are against ethanol blending. That is, out of 3 people, 2 are dead against it. Only 12% support, reflecting consumer worry about mileage drop plus higher maintenance. Yeah, insulin spike. Correct. That is the word that I was looking for. I am not a gym freak, to be very honest. It's been some months since I worked out because of an injury, but I'll be getting back. But for those of you who are asking, to the boys especially, when you go to the gym, work out heavy. Take the heavy weights. Do less numbers. Maximum workout for half an hour to 45 minutes. 2 or 3, it is enough. Then keep it back. Do as many ground exercises as possible. And then when you're very, very warmed up, just pick the heaviest weight that you can. Do a proper set. 1, 2, 3, leave it, drop it. Enough. You will be in best shape. Fat accumulation will never happen. And work out on alternate days. Give your body more than 24 hours rest. Proper rest. 48 hours rest you give. Then hit the gym again. 1.4 lakh crore is the savings of the government since 2014-15. But then what are we doing? Correct. Anshika, what are we getting any benefit? No. Consumer benefits are minimal. Only 2% the petrol prices have dropped. On the other hand, if you see, dividends from oil PSUs increased, showing government revenue capture. That means profits made by the PSUs have increased. And who has taken a maximum share of the profit? Government. Sugarcane ethanol grew from 40 crore liters to 670 crore liters in a decade, but with huge water use. We are using actually what? We are actually using, we got this many liters, 670 crore liters, but with how many water? How much of water we had to consume? See, the corrosive nature, etc., this has not been proven. Again, this has not been proven that it will directly impact. There is no scientific evidence for it. There is no scientific backing for it. Some people say that your vehicle will catch fire because of ethanol blended petrol. Whichever vehicle has caught fire so far, that is running vehicle suddenly catching up fire. Whichever vehicle has caught fire so far, if you actually check it, they wouldn't have installed company's radio. We are all Indians. We prefer to save money. We'll buy a very big car. Then finally, hey, 10,000 rupees for the radio set. No. I will get it done from my friend's shop. He will give it for 5,000. That fellow, he only knows to fit things. He'll just remove one wire from here, one wire from there. He doesn't know the whole circuit, how it is working. What will happen? There will be a short. Fuel is there, it will catch fire. Getting the picture here? Or to put some fancy light, some fancy music, fancy speaker, etc., they will make new connections. You're not supposed to tamper with the electrical system inside a car. So there is no evidence for this. These are all just media generated or spread by WhatsApp University. Maharashtra's groundwater stress and 30% land degradation nationally make this ecologically unsustainable. That is, generating ethanol is not going to be sustainable in the long run. It will bring down water supply. It will also lead to desertification. Rice is being used for ethanol. That has also skyrocketed from less than 3,000 tons to 5.2 million tons in a year. Corn diversion cost 9.7 lakh ton imports. A 6 times rise worsening food security dependence. Corn diversion cost 9.7 lakh ton import we did. We had to import corn for what? To manufacture ethanol. Future projection, 22% sugarcane will be diverted to ethanol by 2034, increasing food versus fuel conflict. Food versus fuel means, should I keep sugarcane for manufacturing ethanol or should I keep it for producing sugar? There is no evidence again. Siddhant. There is no evidence for it. It is slow poison, it will affect, etc. Already it has been, for how many years it's been there in Europe? How many vehicles are there in Europe which is running under ethanol blended petrol? What has happened? Climate impact, 700 lakh tons. CO2 cut is significant, but EVs will deliver far higher reductions. What is the EV challenge in India? That is, the article is basically telling, let us go for electric vehicles. India's EV sales, 7.6% in 2024, must triple in 5 years to meet 2030 targets. All right. But what is the issue? For electric vehicle, you need rare earth elements to make the batteries, etc. On that, we are dependent. 2,270 tons and China's dominance pose critical risks. When currently now, why did USA decide to punish India rather than China? Even though China is importing Russian oil. Again, the same reason, rare earth elements. Even for the US also, to manufacture their electric vehicle, they need this rare earth elements coming from China. China, unfortunately, is the leader when it comes to rare earth elements. Most of the electric vehicles caught fire. Again, short circuit and poor quality. Many of these vehicles, again, made in China. No guarantee for it. Not properly tested or used. US pressure shows ethanol policy may become a geo-economic fault line. That means this could be a new area where people will start fighting out. Relaxing imports could hurt domestic sugar or ethanol industries. That is, if you try to import the food now, that will affect the domestic market. Mixed, that is, already sugarcane is there in India. Okay, this is the sugarcane in India. Now, if I import more sugarcane, what will happen to the price of sugarcane? It will crash. Why? Supply is more now. Obviously, who will be angry? Farmers of sugarcane. Sugarcane farmers will be very angry. Then, okay, let us not import it. Then what will happen? Then the domestic sugarcane will be diverted for ethanol using. Then who will be angry? The customers will be angry. Why? Sugar prices will increase. You import, there is trouble. You don't import, still there is trouble. Yes, it is leading to water scarcity. Honorless killing. It's not honor killing. Let us call it honorless killing. There is no honor in actually killing a person just because they have fallen in love and they are from a lower caste. Children internalize caste norms at a young age, learning whom to interact with. Okay, those are this thing. In India, honor killings continue to be recorded. 25 cases in 2020, 33 in 21, and 18 in 22. This is very lesser than the actual events that happens. Because more often than not, it is not put under honor killing. They will only put it as what some issue was there between two families. They fought with each other. One person died. Actually, it is many. It is very, very high. The India Human Development Survey found that the national rate of intercaste marriage is at around 5%. States such as Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Maharashtra, and Kerala, where Dalit communities are more empowered, record higher rates of intercaste unions. Publicly, strong democratic voices reject caste killings, yet caste pride thrives in private conversations, WhatsApp groups, and anonymous social media accounts where caste killings are defended. Role of the family remains central. Getting the point here. That is, everybody will say, oh, caste is bad, caste is bad. But in WhatsApp, universities, etc., or in social media, they support their caste and speak. We are a casteist society. There is no doubt about it. All right, when people say, okay, the country is like this, this is bad, that is bad, only one question I ask them, are you ready for an intercaste marriage? No, but my parents won't allow. That you don't tell me. Are you ready or not? You cannot make a small change within your family means, then you don't talk about the whole country. End of the discussion. The day when everybody moves towards intercaste marriages, that is when caste identity goes outside the window. That is where reservation ends. That is where caste-based politics ends. That is where criminalization of politics or politicization of criminals, everything ends. Things will become smoother. You're not ready to do that. You're not even ready to convince your parents, make them understand that it is not the caste, it is the karma on the basis of which you have to judge an individual. You're not able to do that. Then you have no rights, basically, to talk anything about the country. You are also part of the whole system. Obviously, I didn't have an arranged marriage. All right. In Japan, the crude marriage rate was 3.9. So, this issue is there. So, let us try to understand what is the solution for this. Is there any solution? There is a solution. What is that? Let us understand what is happening in the world. In Japan, the crude marriage rate was 3.9 marriages per 1,000 people in 2023. That is, out of 1,000 people, only 4 people married in 2023 in Japan. I'm rounding it off. With the average age at first marriage being 31.1 years for men and 29.7 years for women. That is first. When they get married first, the age of men and women are what? In the 30s. In the 30s. As education starts progressing in India, we will find the same situation. Men will find it very difficult to get women, because women, when they get married, when they get educated, definitely what they will demand, I want a guy who is a little more educated than me. But for most men, what it is, okay, I completed 10th standard, I completed 12th standard, I completed degree, I am qualified. I know idiots who have actually gave matrimonial ads telling that appeared for prelims 4 times. UPSC prelims 4 times. That is their qualification. Looking for white, tall, well-behaved, educated girl with homely values and family values. What is his qualification? 4 times he has appeared in prelims. And he wants white. Doesn't even know that it is not white. It is not cement we are talking about. It is a skin color. It is fair. Happily married. Got the point here? In South Korea, the crude marriage rate was 3.8 in 2023. Also historically low. Fertility rates in both countries are among the lowest in the world, far below the replacement. That is, minimum you need to have 2 children. Every couple should produce at least 2 children in the country. Minimum 2. At least 2 should be there. If it is less than 2, that means population is declining. And he's alive. Great. Is doing intercaste marriage and convert their religion. They are allowed to question. And other people are not. See, my point of telling it is, I'm not talking about religious conversion and all. I am talking about intercaste. You take out caste first, then we will see religion. Getting the point here. 27-year-old engineer, IT engineer, was hacked to death in Tamil Nadu. IT engineer. Why? Because he fell in love with an upper caste girl. The brother and apparently the father or whoever it is, they came and murdered him. They came and murdered him only because of what? He was a Dalit. How many years has it been since the Dalits have been facing this? Centuries. And still in their name, votes are being taken. Still in their name, candidates are winning the election. Got the point here? Ultimately, how are our people voting? They are voting, okay, he's from my caste, I will vote for him. But he's a criminal, that I don't care. He's from my caste, so I will vote only for him. That is what I am talking about. Why is it that Shashi Tharoor is not the Prime Minister of the country? Intellectual. Or why didn't Pranab Mukherjee become the Prime Minister of the country? Why didn't Abdul Kalam become the Prime Minister of the country? Or simply put, why did E. Sridharan lose in the elections when he stood in the state of Kerala? Okay, that is not based on caste again. That is based on the political party and ideology, whatever. That reason is we identify with caste, we identify with religion, we identify with political ideologies, not with merit. Merit of the individual is not taken into consideration. Our own parents will keep telling, they are our people. I'm like, our people means our same caste. I'm like, so what? How is it? How does it even matter? Same caste means what guarantee is that you can trust him? You talk too much. You think you know everything. This is the answer that I will get. Because for Indian parents, you shouldn't tell logic. End of the story. Getting the point here. So you remove it out. You remove it out. You at least start from caste onwards first. So why this will change now? Among people aged 15 to 29, share of never married males rose to 20.3% in 91 to 26.1% in 2019. And for females from 16.9 to 18.6 in the same period. That means if you actually see never married males percentage was 26% in 2019, 6 years ago. Females it was 18.6. That means very easily this would have at least never married males should be now 30%. Never marrying females also should be at least more than 20%. I am a human being. They are not marrying only. So I have seen this within my families also, within otherwise also, my friends everywhere. In the 20s when they start looking for a guy or a girl. Hey, same caste, same, everything should be same. Same caste, same subcaste, same this, same that. Later. Girls especially, it is okay if he is not so tall also, it is fine. It is okay if he doesn't have hair also, it is fine. It is okay if he doesn't have a tummy also, it is fine. I mean, if he has a tummy also, it is fine. This is how girls will change. Girls, their physical description, expectation of the guys will change. What about the mother and the father? After 30, you just find a guy for him. Guy for her. I'm like, but the any conditions, he should be educated. That's it. That is enough. I was like, what about caste and all? No, no, no. We have not bothered about caste. Why? Because she's around 35 years old. When your daughter is around 35 years old, then you are not going to be worried about caste anymore. In other words, the trend that has started in our country today is single. Life is the best life. That is a trend that has started. People are like, why should I get married? Average size of an Indian household in 2011. As you can clearly see, these are the states where the size is less. These are the states where the size is on the higher side. This is from 2011. Now the current data, if you see, it is actually what southern states are actually having. Southern states are actually having what? Lesser population. Getting the point here. Men should stay single, sir. Q-tip, let me tell you, you will be the first person to get married in this entire group. That is what history teaches us. The guy who will always say that I will never get married, he will be the first one to get married in the group. All right. And what about females? The statistics clearly tells us that single women are the happiest. Single married men are the most happiest. Yeah, happiness, when you rate it, married men are happier than single men. Single women are happier more than married women. This is the reality of our country. Intercaste marriages rate. Again, if you see which are the states where the intercaste marriage rate is on the higher side. This right here. Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Goa, Kerala. Punjab, Haryana, Meghalaya. Punjab and Haryana, there is a reason to it. These two states were actually pretty notorious for high female PT side. So over the years, what happened? The women here dropped it to such low levels that they actually had to venture out, go to as far as West Bengal, Jharkhand, Odisha, or even Maharashtra to get their bride. Where they are ready to say, we will give everything. We will conduct the marriage. We will take up all the expenses. We will fund everything. UK FTA, grapes and Maharashtra. So we know the UK FTA deal was signed. Correct. Now who is getting advantage out of it? Grape growers in Maharashtra. Because this will remove the 8% tariff on the grapes. So India exported 3 lakh metric ton grapes in 23-24 worth 400 million. And this will increase now to will increase by another additional 60 million. The variety of grape that will be grown here will be export variety. Thompson and Ara. And this is being done through collective farming ecosystems. That is how it is being done. You can read the article for better understanding. Finally, an important topic, EC under radar. Many of you would be wondering, EC, the whole vote chori, etc. So very quickly, I will wrap it up. So SIR, why are we conducting it now? What is the purpose of conducting it, etc.? This is the main question. All right. SIR, why it is being conducted? To find out who are the actual genuine people in the voters list. So before that, let me introduce you to a data here. Bihar lags in registration. Birth is something which you can register very easily. Correct. In a hospital, when a child is born, you can go and register it easily. That itself Bihar is not doing. Telangana, which actually talks about digitalization, etc., even they lag in birth registration. If this is the story of birth means, imagine what will be the story of death registration. It will be even more pathetic, guaranteed. Over 4 lakh fake birth certificates generated in UP and Bihar. Over 4 lakh. Now tell me, whose job it is to register births? Is it the job of the state? Is it the job of the center? Is it the job of the Election Commission of India? Whose job it is? Can anybody tell me? This is just the tip of the iceberg. Whose job it is? Tell me that first. Is it the state's job? Is it the center's job? Is it the ECI's job? State. It is the state. No doubt about it. So, $1 million question is, I cannot blame the Election Commission of India if the state is not doing a proper job of registering all the births and deaths. Correct? The state is not doing it. It is not my problem. If I am the Election Commission of India, it is not my problem. So I have every right to conduct the SIR to find out who are the genuine voters. Because when a death certificate is 4 lakh fake birth certificates can be issued means, imagine how many death certificates can be issued. Fake ones. Or I don't report the death at all. I don't report it. Person has died, but I don't report it. In his name, I can make a voter ID. States are supposed to be checking it. So every state government has to be blamed for not ensuring proper registration of birth and death. Now again, I purposefully put up Telangana's this thing over here. Because generally people will say, UP, Bihar means we know. What about Telangana, man? Land record is digitalized in Telangana. Do you know that? What is more difficult? Land you have to measure, you have to GPS tag it, then upload the data online. That is very, very difficult. One death to register or birth to register, what is the big deal there? So let understand here one thing. Every state government knows this. Deaths are not registered properly. Using those fake people, voters' IDs are issued and people use it. Which people use it? That is the next question. Read this. Myanmar, India is constructing a 1,643 kilometer smart fence along the India-Myanmar border. As of July 2025, 401 kilometer has been completed. July 2025, last month. That means 1947 we got independence. Now we have started to construct a fence. Now, 401 is done. Another 1,200 is only remaining. That means the border was never closed with Myanmar. Whatever Rohingyas who had to come inside, they have already come. Bangladesh, the total border length is about 4,096.7 kilometer, in which 3,232 has been fenced by early 2025. Again, almost another 800 or 700 kilometers. That is also pending. So no border with Myanmar till 2025, from 47 to 25. No border with Bangladesh from 47 to 25. Then what about Pakistan? Our first Kujli. Out of the 3,323 kilometer border, 2,064 is fully fenced. As of 24, remaining 916 kilometer consists of physical or non-physical barriers. That means with Pakistan, fencing was completed only in 24. Imagine with Pakistan also we didn't have a proper border. Whose job it is to put proper border everywhere? If center doesn't put a proper border, and I'm blaming every government from 1947 to the current government, you had only one job: secure the borders, keep the people out, illegal immigrants out. 1947 to 2025, nobody bothered to do it. Now at least you have started it. Great. So you never put up a border. What will happen? Who will enter? Some are settled here in this country since the last 50, 60 years. 50 to 60 years they are settled. Getting the point here? 50 to 60 years they are settled here. They will utilize what? All the voter IDs generated in the name of dead people. Done. Every state government knows this. Every central government that changed knows this. Election Commission of India also knows this. So should we conduct SIR? Absolutely yes. Again, the Hindu will be like, but why are they conducting it now? Genuine voters will go out. It is not genuine voters will go out. Majority who are going to go out will be the illegal ones. That is the reality. Supreme Court also said go ahead with the SIR. But if you are removing anybody from the voters list, give the reason why they have been removed. Give them the opportunity to come with the documents to prove that they are the citizens of the country. Got the point here? This is the idea. Clear? So, two things put to rest now. That is, SIR issue I told you, we need it. Center didn't do a good job since 1947 when it came to borders. States have not done a good job when it came to what? Registering both birth as well as death, which has easily contributed to creating fake documents. This is the reality. Why the Election Commission of India? Why did they give A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Why didn't the Election Commission of India go check it out? Food, clothing and shelter is still a basic necessity in this country. In a country where 81 crore people are still dependent on the government of India for food, do you think these 81 crore people have shelter over their head? They will be living in slums. They will be living in temporary places. So you cannot expect them to have what? Everybody to have a proper address. When 86% of the workforce is in informal sector, do you really think they all have their own address? They all have their own home, or they even have the money to pay for rental accommodation? Think about it. 86% is in informal sector. 81 crore is dependent on government of India for food. Obviously, they are not going to have any permanent address. Again, blame on the state doesn't end here. Next blame is what? Who is supposed to keep all the documents with regard to migration? That is number of people who are coming into the state, number of people who are going out, in, out. Again, it is the state government. Law and order again comes under state subject. It is the responsibility of the police also to check who are the illegal immigrants in the state. You ask any local constable. No need to go to the level of SP and all. Just ask any local police station constable. Sabji, where will you find all these illegal people who have no documents in our state, where it is there? They will be like, why you want to know? Just for knowledge, I'm preparing for UPSC. You just go and tell. They will be like, that area is there na, that one mohalla is there na, that one area is there na. That entire area is filled with them. No, nothing can be done. He will tell you. That is, it is a public secret. It is a public secret that these areas, it consists of infiltrators. People have come from Myanmar, people have come from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. It is a known secret. So for all these nonsense, how can you blame the Election Commission of India? If the center did not do its job well, state did not do its job well, how will you blame the Election Commission of India? This is my question. Getting the point here. Next, what is my issue that I have with Election Commission of India? Now, why Election Commission of India is wrong? That is the next point. Before this Epic card came, before Epic, they used to manually write down names of the voters, numbers, etc. in a book. Manual writing down. Got the point here? Manually writing down. Now, post this Epic, that is electoral photo identity card, what has happened is, the manually what they entered, there is one data. Electoral photo identity card, that is another data. So my name, you will find it here. My name, you will find it here also. Okay, what is the big deal you may feel? Only problem is, if here the number is XYY, here the number is YXX. Under the same person's name, same address, two different voters ID number. That is all the election commissions of India since 2000 didn't even bother to synchronize this data and issue only one voter ID number. They didn't even bother. Why? Herculean exercise. Herculean exercise. At least do we have one single year where there is no election? No. Every year state elections are there. After every 5 years, Lok Sabha election is there. Where does EC have the time for it? It is not an excuse. I know it very well. But still, this is their job. One job you had. This job. They never did it. This was raised by West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. How is it that two voters ID for one person? This is the first issue. Because of this issue, what has happened now? They don't have a proper system. Even now, they don't have a proper system. So my vote is there in Kerala. State of Kerala, I have my vote. With the documents that I have right now inside Karnataka, I can get a voter's ID card inside Karnataka also. I can get. That means what? Two different voters ID. One based out of Kerala, one based out of Bangalore. One from Bangalore constituency, one for Thrissur constituency. Whose problem it is? EC's problem. So whatever Mr. Rahul Gandhi has shown there as data, like one person having voted 4 times, he said. It is not that they voted 4 times. One person has taken up 4 ID cards, 4 different places. How is it possible? What is the EC doing? I'll tell you one simple story. Pooja Khetkar, you remember? Pooja Khetkar, who is reason for half of our trouble when we fill up the UPSC form. How many times she fooled the UPSC? Pooja.K. Pooja Khetkar. K. Pooja. Just changed her initial here to there to here. And a little bit of change in getup. Photos with specs, without specs, straightened hair, curly hair, etc. She aram se fooled UPSC. The UPSC. Do you think this is difficult? This is really difficult or what? To generate fake photo and fake name, put an initial here, that there. This is the reality. My second issue with Election Commission of India, especially the current election commissioner, is the statement what he made. When the question came about CCTV footage, he gave a very nice reason. Our sisters, our mothers, our mother-in-law, our sister-in-law, our daughter-in-law, how can we give? Just because they come and ask the video, should I just give it to them like that? Dear sir, an identity of a woman is not associated with a man. A woman is all capable of having her own identity. She is not just somebody's daughter or somebody's wife or sister or mother-in-law or sister-in-law or whatever. She is an individual. The relationships comes next. I am an individual, Nikhil Ram. I am married, I have a wife, I have a kid, I am a father, I am a husband, I am a brother. All those are secondary. The individual comes first. Because at least this gentleman, this current election commissioner, if this gentleman knew who was the first election commissioner of India, he wouldn't have made that statement. The first election commissioner of India, Mr. Sukumar Sen, when he universal adult franchise, everybody can vote, even women. That was the rule. He sent out the list. Register yourself if you are more than 21. How did they put up? Mother of, wife of, daughter of. Why you put your name and give? No, name we will not give. Sukumar Sen cancelled the list and asked them to send it back again, telling that if you don't give your real name, no, I don't want mother of, sister of, daughter of, give me your name. Then I will take it up. Again, they did not agree. Some agreed, some did not. Many people were like, how dare you ask the names of the women in my house? There were patriarchal idiots were there back then also. But he did not budge. That is the first unofficial revolution, silent revolution that happened as far as equality of rights are concerned. Giving a woman her name, her identity. So to tell that I will not give the CCTV footage just because, hamare behnon ki, it is not some first night video or honeymoon video. They have just come there to give their vote. As simple as that. It is a public space. Public space, there are public cameras everywhere. In a mall also it is there. If a security situation comes, the police can take it up. What is wrong in it? Getting the picture here? This is the reality. Defense, it is nothing but a little bit data. You may read it. All right, just read it. That's it. With that, we come to an end of our class also. Class is over, people. No, Anshul Yadav. It is the fault of Election Commission of India. State election, national elections, both under Election Commission of India. State election commission, what you talk about, that is only for panchayat and municipalities. Can I prepare for SSC CGL from first year? Yes, you can. There should be transparency. Absolutely, Ankit. Are you married? Yes. Love you too, Q-tip, even though you were a pain in the dash. How can I learn English writing for UPSC? Guide me, sir. Ujjwal, you just need to practice it. Just keep practicing it. Use simple sentences. Don't put complicated sentences. Pintu Patel, please, I would prefer if you would call me an Indian rather than a South guy. I don't take any particular pride in the fact that my house is in the state of Kerala. I don't take any pride in that. I take pride in the fact that I'm an Indian. Now, I don't want to sound like Sunny Deol or something, but I carry myself like that. I don't actually consider any state to be below or any state to be above or nothing. I am absolutely proud of my Indian roots. My house is in Kerala. I stay in Bangalore. I love the language of Tamil. My favorite, I love a Rajinikanth movie, just like anybody else. I love Kamal Hassan. I love Mr. Mohanlal. I mean, he's my favorite actor. Acting wise, I'm talking about my favorite actor. I love a Shah Rukh Khan movie. All that I love. So that is a totally different Delhi dog news thoughts. Illogical, unscientific, not based on any data, just based on one judge's opinion. How to be consistent and disciplined. Don't look at the watch. Hayat Khan. Don't ever look at the watch or the clock. It is the moment you wake up. Let us say you want to go out somewhere. 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, you have to go somewhere. Only that alarm you put. Never look at the clock. Because when you look at the clock, what happens is, say for example, now 9:19 is the time. So if you're somebody like me, a little lazy, then what you will do is at 9:19, I'll start at 9:30. Then later you will be watching your reel or something. Then later you will see, oh, it's 9:40 now. Then I'll start at 10 o'clock. Because we are like these astrologers. We like only the round figure time. 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. So my solution that I discovered very recently in this old age of my life, I have discovered is best thing to do is don't look at the clock. Get up, start doing. One after the other, start doing. In between class will be there, go do the class. When class is there, not there, come back, take rest for some time, again, get back to work. Don't look at your watch philosophy. That is what it is. Charlie, it is not, you need not study this year's CA if you're giving it for 2028. But if you start now, your grasp over current affairs will be very strong. Love you too, Ujjwal. Ankur Shah, see, there is nothing called as fluency in English. The only point I will tell you is, if you can, watch good, nice English movies. Old, that is the movies which have won Oscar, etc. Watch it with subtitles. Put on your headphones. And when you're watching that movie, when the subtitles come, read the lines. And try to listen to how they are pronouncing it and use it. Keep practicing. Half an hour every day. One movie you take up, where you know the story already. Maybe some movies will be there which you would have watched. Some nice movies which you really like, which you have already watched 4 or 5 times. Take up such a movie. Play it. Pronounce it. Keep listening to it. Your English speaking will improve. Good night, Prem. Blockchain technology, it is not about difference. Blockchain technology is the basic technology behind e-voting system and cryptocurrency. That is the underlying technology there. Private job versus government job, which is better? Whichever you are happy with. Good night, Lakshmi. We will wait, Rahul. See, it has been referred to a cabinet. It has been sent to a committee. There's only a bill. It has been sent to a committee. Let the committee come out with its recommendations. Then we should see whether any amendments will be brought to the bill. It has to be passed by the parliament. It has to come out. President has to receive the assent. Till then, let us wait. 1 year's current affairs, Anisha. No, I didn't say Hindu is not giving the correct data. Hindu is only conveniently picking and choosing data to suit their narrative. I never said Hindu won't give the correct data. Hindu actually gives the correct data. You can trust Hindu's data. The only point is you will have to check for the other side of the story, especially the state of the economy. Hindu only said that, see, 81% debt we are having. That is all they said. I just went and did a little bit of homework because I remember, because I used to teach economics. So I remember when I used to teach economics, I used to quote this, that the debt to GDP ratio, it is declining. That is, Indian economy is really doing good. So that is how I searched for it and I got it. You are in 12th, how to start my UPSC journey? Please reply. Don't start now. Get into a college first. Get your degree first. Enjoy your college life. Please, for the love of God, go and propose 1 or 2 girls. Get rejected. Get friend zoned. Be that one guy where on the Rakhi day, all the Rakhis are tied in your hand because nobody wants to make you their boyfriend. Get all those rejections and experiences. Then maybe in your 2nd year or 3rd year, you can start preparing for UPSC. Memories, people, create memories. Life is not only about, okay, clear this exam, now I am this, now I am that. No, you need memories. That is what will make you strong. You need experiences. That is what you need. Experience rejections, experience heartbreak, experience insult. Only that will make you strong. Otherwise, you'll become a glorified Amul baby. How to speak confidently in crowd. EVM machine and all, there is no Anshul. What controversy is there? See, EVM machine, please, for the love of God, I have told this already. It is just like nothing like but a calculator. See, I have told this. EVM machines, when it is being brought, let us say I bring it. It is not that in the dead of the night, koi nahi hai. Come on, let us go keep this EVM machine. BJP is going to win. No, it is not. That is not how it is done. EVM machine is brought. The political parties, each party's representative will be there in every polling booth. I keep it in front of them. They will check. After they are satisfied, they have to sign in a document. After all the political parties' representatives have checked it, verified it, only then it is placed in the booth. Understand that very, very clearly. Otherwise, you cannot do it. And if any fault is discovered, it is rejected. Done. Please understand that. So that is how it is done. It is not that right time you come and you keep it and go. No, you cannot do that. There is a system to it. Please understand. When you start next foundation batch, it will be announced pretty soon. Prelims clear करने के लिए some strategy. No strategy. Sit and prepare. Satellite signal speed or towers. Satellite signal is more powerful, more faster. I have seen you near Rajaji Nagar. Definitely you would have seen me because I stay near Rajaji Nagar only. മലയാളം പറയുമോ? പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് എന്തിനാണ് മോനെ? സുഖമാണോ നിനക്ക്? EPFO. Are you going to? I am going to start classes for EPFO. No. I won't start. I don't know whether UPSC, I mean PW is having any. I'm already having enough classes. More than this, if I take, then that is it. Telegram link. Very good, Samson, because I hate my accent. Why Geography NCRT video I stopped? Because it would have got over. NCRT, that many chapters were there, that got over. That is the reason. See, let the conclusion come. Dharmasthala, let the final conclusion come, whether it is true or false. Because let me tell you, first of all, that sounds very bizarre, right? Imagine, for 20, 25 years or something, or 30 years, something, people were going on killing. That is, one particular gang was there in Dharmasthala, capturing girls, raping them and murdering them and burying them. And nobody had any issue. Nobody had any issue. Are you seriously telling me that? There was a case long ago, I think it happened in Maharashtra. One Gunda was there. He was living in the slum area. So he used to just barge into these houses. He had political support also. He'll barge into houses and he will rape women. It reached such a high point where finally, when this fellow was being brought into the court or something, he abused another woman with a very bad word. He was being brought into the court. What the women did was they had already come there prepared with chili powder. They ran into the court. They threw the chili powder on the cops, everybody, on this criminal also. Everybody came and stabbed him. He was killed inside the local criminal court. He was killed. Trust me, this is India. This is India. Nobody for 20, 30 years like a Don, you can, pick up girls. What is the Saddam Hussein's Iraq or what? Okay, maybe some attacks would have happened. I'm not at all thinking that nothing happened there. Some would have happened. But beyond that, over a 20, 30 period, more than 100 I have buried. 100. And all these 100 women, their families, their brothers, their sisters, their fathers, they all kept quiet. Their husbands, everybody kept quiet. Yeah, my wife just got raped and murdered. Oh, okay, they are burying her. Okay, nice. I will keep quiet. Seriously? Not one person's blood boiled. You will kill me, right? Maximum. You kill. But before that, I'll at least take 2 of you down. Some resistance should have happened, right? Over a period of time. Wait till the final conclusion comes. Don't go behind all this. That's a nice compliment, Adarsh. Thank you so much. I am very proud of you, Yash. Very good. True, Harsh, other than our population, we don't have anything unique to give to the world. You are my hope. My wife should read that. Do you watch anime? No, I don't have the time for it. I'm watching movies like web series these days. Let's end on a positive note. No, Sandeep, nothing matters. My interview also, let me tell you, nothing mattered there. My 10th standard marks, they did not ask. My 12th marks, they did not ask. My engineering, they did not ask. Nothing they asked. They didn't even look into that area. The only thing that they asked is, okay, you are a BTech marine engineer, then why UPSC? Then I told, no, you're marine engineer, I took it as a backup. The real passion is IPS. Oh, okay. That's it. That's the only question that came. They don't care about your college, nothing. Alphonse Kannandanam IAS, an IAS officer from the state of Kerala, he failed in his 10th standard. And like what you people are asking today, not one word of English he knew to speak. Not one word. He spent hours inside the library because that time only library was there. Reading English books after English books. From the start he started. And now if you listen to him speaking, you will be wondering, this guy failed in 10th standard seriously? UPSC doesn't care about your past. UPSC only cares about what you did for your prelims, what are you doing for your mains, and how are you answering in the interview. You are a medical student. Already you are having enough of trouble in your life, right, Paras? You still want to go for UPSC. You have already entered the college means, what is it? You can consider the Titan, the pinnacle batch basically. But like I told you, the courses will happen gradually. I would recommend everybody that whoever is working, whoever is maybe in college, etc., please go for pinnacle because it is, time is there. It is not like, okay, this class is over, then that class is there, then this class is there. That is not how it is. It is a little relaxed, it is. So over a 2-year period, aram se you can have your studies without affecting your college life or without affecting your UPSC preparation. I left cricket when Sachin Tendulkar retired. One movie, sir, that you suggest that everybody should watch. Yes, no. What you can do is, for SSC preparation, there is a book of S. Chand publications, which has maths chapter wise. Buy that book, start practicing. Each chapter start practicing with the formulas. 6 to 7 hours of sleep. Vanka Ramesh. Vanka, if you are doing self-preparation, you are bound to find it very difficult. So that is the reason why I would again tell you, PhD preparation and UPSC, that's like a little too much of heavyweight. So again, I would recommend you, please consider the pinnacle batch because materials you will get, content you will get, everything you will get. All you have to do is attend the class. If you don't attend the class, attend the recorded lectures and then just read the notes. See, you need easily 10 months at least just to attend the class, get the notes, everything ready intact. For that, at least you need 10 months. Including your optional, I'm talking about. CSAT, everything. Minimum you require. So that time period, there are two ways to do it. Either you become super disciplined, super dedicated, which is not easy with a PhD, with a perception of, while pursuing PhD, it is not possible. So the only other thing to do is what? Attend an online class, which is also easy on your pocket. I don't know about sociology. My optional is public administration. Psychology is a good career option. It is definitely a great career option. You are going to have a lot of mentally disturbed people in the future because these days people don't get sunlight. People don't spend reading books. People don't even spend time talking to another human being. They spend most of the time online. You find people who are happy online, but who are sad and depressed offline. So many psychological nutcases are going to increase in our country. Best time it is to take up psychology, become a psychiatrist, become a counselor. You will mint money. Offer counseling services like for half an hour counseling, 500 rupees. For 1 hour counseling, 1000 rupees. Make an app. Do it. You will get it. Because everybody loves what? Anonymity online. Anonymity. Everybody loves it. So if I don't reveal and tell you who am I, etc., or I'll be ready to open up to a stranger, not to somebody whom I know. Take it up. You'll mint money. Offline Chandigarh center. Why should I travel and come till there? If at all my necessity is there, I'll come. You are a little bit confused about your future. You are only in +1. You're only 16 years old. At 16 years old, my biggest doubt was whether she will put me in front zone or not. Not worried about UPSC or the future. Trust me. Don't think too much. Udan 500. I don't know about that level. Blackpink can play this in the first go in 2027. See, overthinking, etc., overthinking, depression, or I am worried whether my speed is correct, whether I am not getting time to read everything, I'm not getting time to do the mains, practice, answer writing, all these concerns you will have. See, first of all, let me tell you, if you have joined for any course, my first and only funda is don't develop any backlogs. That is, if you have joined our Titan batch or you have joined our Prarambh or Pinnacle, whichever batch it is, Don't develop any backlogs. Attend all the classes first. First and foremost rule. Mains, writing, etc. I know it is all important, but first attend the classes. All the classes. In case you missed out also, don't develop it as a backlog. Work harder on Saturday, Sunday, clear all your backlogs. Second thing is what? Whichever class you finish, read on the same day. Don't keep it for Sunday, Monday, or any day. Read everything on the same day. Don't study. Read. See whether you are able to understand. Do that much. That is the fundamental thing you will do. Because like I told you, first 10 months, focus should be only on you cover the syllabus. Answer writing, etc. we can do later also. But first and foremost rule, cover the syllabus first. Minimum one reading of the entire syllabus, all the notes what you have, so that at least you should know, this topic it is there in that notebook, this one is there in this notebook. That much of clarity you should be having. Not that at the end of the 10 months, you take your own notebook and you're like, nice, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro civilization script. This is nice. Whose handwriting it is? You're not in a position to identify your own note. Don't do that. Attend the classes. Read on the same day. This much you do. It is not MA in philosophy, Samson. Life has treated me royally well. That is the reason. Biscuit kachavadam. Eda poi kidannu orangada biscuit kachavadakara. General awareness preparation for other exams, especially banking, railways, etc. It is mostly, first thing you should do is, we are anyway covering the NCERT series in YouTube. Get it done from there. Then the other part is basically the dynamic part, which I would say, don't try to prepare for this much, because any question can come. SBI chairman's name, what is it? Public sector enterprise selection board's chairman's name. Any question can come. So we cannot have any guarantee over here. They can ask very factual questions. So focus should be NCERT you do. NCERT series from our English channel, get it done. The remaining focus should be on what? Quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, English comprehension. 1, 2, 3. In these 3 areas, score 25 out of 25. That is the only solution. എന്താ മോനെ അജയ? తెలుగు తెలిసిల్ల. Yeah, you can start. നാട്ടിൽ എവിടെയാണ്? തൃശ്ശൂർ. All right, people, it is the same question again. Let us call it a day. It's already 9:40. Speak in Kannada, sir. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಸಾಗರ್, ಏನು ಸಮಾಚಾರ? ನೈಟ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೆ ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡಿ. All right, people, let's call it a day.